Okay, so this quantity here, oh, I need to snip this. So you've this column here, okay, that column here, is going to be obtained by taking the difference of two consecutive x values. So I want a number here, so I'm going to take the difference of this and this. What's that? 1. Then I'll take the CI value, which is that, and put it in my function. My function is square root of x. So then this guy is going to be square root of 1.3. Okay. Next, I'm going to times these two quantities, as you see here. And you will put that in your calculator and store it away. Okay. Put it in your calculator and store it away. You multiply this and this. So you're multiplying this quantity and this quantity as shown here. That's what that's telling you. Okay, you're multiplying those two. And you're going to put it in a variable and save it away. Okay, and so the next one's going to be 3.2 minus 2.5, so that's 0.7. Square root of 3, you're going to multiply these two, put it away in C. And the last one's going to be 0.8, which is the difference of this and this. And you're going to take 3.5, put it in the function, times these two, and save it away. And then you're going to add all of these, okay? Add all of them. And give me your answer then, okay? Someone got me an answer? 4.62 6398. Everybody okay on this? Right? Everybody got this down okay? So it's not very different from what we've been doing. Okay, it's a little bit more complicated because each rectangle is a different width. Okay? But the idea, the concepts are exactly the same as what we've been doing for about 2 weeks now, a little more than 2 weeks. Okay, next problem, guess whose responsibility that is? Oops, wrong one. Okay, so this is for you to do. Set it out in a table. 20.6700. Okay, so, okay. Shh. Yes. The answer should be 20.6700. Okay, 20.6700. Okay, so finish this off on your own time and then make sure you get this. All right. Why is this stuff important? Well, before we get there, just a quick preamble. You guys have seen this, been there, done that. Okay, the integral that's in black is called a definite integral. The one in blue is indefinite. The difference being that the definite integral has limits, upper limit and lower limit. Okay, so A is called the lower limit, B is called the upper limit. Okay, and we've been there and done that. All right. Okay, so Riemann's claim to fame actually is not just what we did, but it's really this result here. Okay, it's this result here. Okay, so what it's saying is that, hey, instead of doing this summation stuff, okay, you're just going to do a definite integral, which is a lot easier. And you'll see that in a few minutes, okay? You'll see that in a few minutes. Okay, remember that this limit here, okay, and even the definite integral are essentially calculating the area underneath the curve. That's the bottom line. Okay, that's the bottom line. So you're finding the area underneath the curve. You don't need to take this down, frankly, because it's too painful. It's too painful. Okay, it's too painful. So all we need to know is that the limit is related to the definite integral. Okay, the definite integral. All right, I'm going to do example 1 on page 278. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to kind of set it up for you. So we're doing number 1 from your homework, okay? And it gives you a hint as to what to do, okay? What to do. And what they're asking you to do is use example 1 as a model. Well, you can read that in addition to me actually doing the problem here, so you'll get an idea as to how this needs to be done. The real technique is to use this that they've given you, okay, that limit. And they've given you a hint as well. Okay, they've given you a hint as well. So let's start formulating this. So what you want is you want limit n goes to infinity of sigma I goes from 1 to n. And then you're going to evaluate FCI. Okay, FCI. So if you can't see this, you have your book there in front of you, so you should be able to look at your textbook and see what's going on here. Okay, so you're going to take 3i squared over n squared and put it into your function, which is that. So it's going to be square root of 3i squared over n squared. The next part is kind of tricky, okay? What it's saying is that they tell you that Ci is equal to 3i squared over n squared. They give you that hint. Can someone tell me what Ci minus 1 would be? Yes, sorry? No, 1 minus, but... Well, look what you have. You've got I minus 1, so wherever you see I, you put in I minus 1. So you're going to do the same thing here. In place of that I, what are you going to put in? I minus 1, so it's going to be 3 over n squared, I minus 1 quantity squared. Okay? And see how you have a delta xi here? See how you have a delta xi? That is the width of each rectangle. To get the width of each rectangle, what you're going to do is you're going to subtract Ci minus 1 minus Ci. You're going to take the difference of these two. Okay? Because these two guys are giving you the coordinates of the left corner. So C1 and C2. The difference of those two will give you the width of the rectangle. You guys with me on that? And remember, delta xi is the width of a rectangle. Critique. Stop zoning. Okay? So let's do the subtraction. So I get 3 over n squared, I minus 1 squared, minus 3 over n squared, I squared. Does everybody see where the subtraction is coming from? I'm subtracting 2 consecutive C values that will give me the width of the rectangle. Okay? Do the algebra in here. I minus 1 quantity squared. Foil it. Hello, someone foil it. Whoa, you're going to recite it out. Joanna. And then you got a minus I squared here, right? Everybody with me on that? From here? Yeah? So then the I squareds cancel. And you get 3 over n squared, 1 minus 2i. You objective if I rewrite that as 1 minus 2i. And so I need to take this and put it in here. Okay? So then that guy would turn out to be 3 over n squared, 1 minus 2i. Yeah, right here you can see that multiplication right there. Right here. Yeah. Okay. you're subtracting these two quantities. You're subtracting this and this. So isn't there an I squared here? Right there? And isn't there an I squared coming out of here because of this guy? That's where it's coming from. Okay, so you go limit, n goes to infinity, sigma I equals 1 to n. Now I'm going to take things that don't depend on I outside the sigma sign. So notice that this doesn't depend on I. This doesn't depend on I either. From here, I'm going to get a square root of 3. Everybody see that? I get a square root of 3. So I'm going to get 3 root 3. Out of here, I'm going to get an n, because it's square root of n squared. So that n times n squared will give me n cubed. And then I've got I times 1 minus 2i. Okay, now I'll pause here for a minute for you guys to catch up on the algebra here. All right, doing the algebra, continue with it. You get this is equal to limit n goes to infinity of 3 root 3 over n cubed sigma I minus 2i squared. Can I erase this stuff so that it doesn't come in my way? Too late. Can't say no now. Okay. Okay, now you invoke your formulas from page 260. You guys want to go in there and look at it? What's sigma I? Remember, this is going from 1 to n. Sorry? N times n plus 1 over 2 minus what's sigma I squared? N times. I can't fit it in here, so I'll have to rewrite this somewhere. Okay, say that again. N times all over 6. Okay. And I'll let you do the algebra here. Okay, I'll pause here for a minute, let you do the algebra. The limits, you need to use the 3 rules. 3 rules that I've talked about 6,000,003 times.
Yeah, but you always say the 3 rules, you never tell us what they are. You always say they're in our pre-calc book and not in our calculus book.
Okay, right here. This is for Laura and Tatiana. The rules are, you guys listening?
You ready?
Laura, you're listening?
I'm listening.
You're listening. Okay, you want me to write it down?
Yeah.
Okay, you want me to write it down mathematically or in English?
Both.
Both. You guys are picky. But things I do for you guys, hopefully you reciprocate, okay, by studying and doing your homework and doing well. Sound like your mom?
Yeah, I sound like Cindy's mom.
Cindy's mom? Good. Yeah, reciprocate things. Rule number 1. Okay, before we even do the rule, this is the equation you need to know, okay? So your function, fx, is going to look like a sub n x to the n plus a sub n x to the n minus 1 plus a sub, oh, this should be minus 1 here. A sub n minus 2 x to the n minus 2 da 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 da. Why, you wanted it mathematically as well, right? So this guy is called what? What's it called? It is. That's a B. You can't read? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what is this called? Hello?